In 1995, Hollywood thought it had another pirate adventure on its hands. Instead, it got one of the biggest disasters in movie history. The movie was Cutthroat Island, a massive pirate epic starring Geena Davis and directed by Renny Harlin. It had ships, sword fights, explosions, enormous sets, exotic locations, and a budget approaching $100 million. But there was one problem. The studio financing it was already running out of money. Carolco Pictures had once been one of Hollywood's biggest success stories. The company had been behind movies like Terminator 2 and Basic Instinct. But by the mid-1990s, Carolco was drowning in financial problems, and Cutthroat Island was supposed to help save it. Instead, it became the final disaster. The movie had originally been planned on a much smaller budget, but production costs kept growing. Reports at the time put the budget somewhere around $90 million to $100 million, with some estimates going even higher. The production itself was chaotic. The film was shot across locations including Malta and Thailand, creating huge logistical challenges. The schedule slipped, the production went over time, crew members got sick, equipment problems caused delays. The script went through rewrites, and the enormous pirate sets and action sequences demanded more money. Even the original male lead, Michael Douglas, left the project and was replaced by Matthew Modine. Every change created another problem, and every problem cost money. By the time the movie was approaching completion, Carolco could barely afford to keep going. The studio began selling off rights to other movies to raise cash. It needed additional financing just to keep its productions moving. By April 1995, Carolco was warning that it might have to sell assets or file for bankruptcy. The company specifically blamed the delayed release of Cutthroat Island as part of its cash flow crisis. Then came the final blow. The movie opened in December 1995, and audiences simply did not show up. Cutthroat Island had cost roughly $98 million to produce, but its domestic box office was only about $10 million. Worldwide, it made roughly $16 million. Guinness World Records later listed it as the largest box office loss at the time, estimating a net loss to Carolco of more than $104 million. For a movie that was supposed to rescue a struggling studio, the result was catastrophic. Carolco filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection just weeks before the movie reached theaters. The timing could not have been worse. And the irony goes even deeper. Pirate movies were about to become enormously popular again. Just 8 years later, Pirates of the Caribbean would become a global franchise. But in 1995, the idea of spending nearly $100 million on a pirate movie looked like madness. Cutthroat Island became the symbol of that madness. The film itself was not some tiny independent production that nobody expected anything from. It was designed to be an event. It had major stars, an established action director, huge practical sets, elaborate ships, and the kind of spectacle Hollywood believed audiences would pay to see. But spectacle alone could not save it. The movie had become too expensive to fail. And once that happens, the economics become brutal. A film costing $10 million can survive being a disappointment. A film costing $100 million cannot. It needs enormous audiences just to begin recovering its costs, and marketing, distribution, interest, and theater splits make the real financial target even higher. Cutthroat Island never came close, and that is why its story still matters. It is not simply a story about a bad movie. It is a story about what happens when a studio bets everything on one project while already standing on unstable ground. Carolco needed a hit. It got a bomb. The company eventually ceased operations, and Cutthroat Island became permanently attached to one of Hollywood's most painful lessons. A bigger movie is not necessarily a safer movie. Sometimes, the bigger the bet, the harder the fall. And in the case of Cutthroat Island, the movie did not just sink at the box office, it helped take its studio down with it.